looking. He's going to heave one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. And the Gators have won this.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another stream of High Top Sports. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's been a week. My goodness, it has been. It was 48 hours. It was 72 hours. We're going on to a week, month, maybe even a year, boys and girls. I don't know anymore, you know. But look, we're going to talk about it. We're going to digress it. We're going to figure out what happened, talk about it. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my opinions, and then talk about the future. And we got some recruiting news as well, too. Some good news there, which is exciting to hear. Hope you guys are doing well on this Monday morning, Monday afternoon now. Didn't anticipate going live today, but I love going live. Love when we got some exciting news to talk about, so I'm excited to be here. Hope you guys are excited to be here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on our way to 4,000 subs, and every like and sub makes us do a little bit better here on the channel, and it doesn't cost you guys a thing. So let's rock and roll. Happy Halloween as well, too, ladies and gents. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Probably had a good time with your costumes and whatnot. So what's going on, boys, in the chat? Adrian Bechet, how we doing? Brandon Curry, Ed DePriest, what's going on, Big Dog? Jordan, Money Gree, RN, Ashton, Chris Sorley, Johnny, what's going on, man? And who else we got here in the chat? Austin Rogers and TJ Lift. What's going on, boys? Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's dive into it. Brenton Cox has been dismissed from the Florida Gators. That's a big one there, okay? I know a few people are saying, like, why, what's going on? He's our number one defensive player. Well, not quite. He is behind Rashad, Ventrell, Trey Dean, Amari Burney in tackles and total tackles. For solo tackles, he's behind Gervon, Trevez Johnson, and then the other guys I just mentioned as well. So not necessarily the top tackler on the team. I know a few people were saying that. He's not as high. Again, definitely an impact player. I have been a critic of Brenton Cox all year. I think if you guys have watched, if you've seen me say that I'm not impressed, I think he's an athletic freak. I think he's explosive off the line. But I was never sold on him. I wasn't really, bought into the way that he plays football. It just never really was. I mean, he's explosive. He would get back there, and you would hear his name from time to time. And he had like 2 sacks, I believe. Excuse me. And again, I'm not sitting here bashing him because he's gone now, but I think we're all kind of, freaking out like, whoa, what's going on? Is this a big deal? I don't think so. I really don't. I'm going to play the video from Billy and show what he said, and then we're going to dissect it, okay? Because not much was let out, and I think that's a good thing. We're going to break that down, too, so obviously Billy comes out and speaks on it, doesn't show too many cards, just kind of speaks very politically, as you would expect. I want to grade this in two camps here. One camp being, let's see how long it actually keeps hush-hush, right? Number one. Number two, more than likely, it's something Brenton did. So any news that comes out is only going to hurt his potential draft stock and his future career. And Billy's probably showing him respect. Look, you're already being dismissed. You're already getting an honorable discharge, in a sense. No need for me to ruin your career anymore by telling people what you actually did. So I think it's going to say hush-hush. I don't think we hear much of it. I think people are going to try to stem up as much as they possibly can. And you'll see in the interview, they're asking certain things, trying to, guide leading questions to get Billy to bite. And I'll kind of speak to that as well, too. But I don't think I'm hoping we don't hear anything because I think that'll speak volumes about the camp and Billy and how he handles his business. So let's watch the tape here, and then we'll break it down. I saw you guys in the chat already, so you probably already seen this, but I want to kind of tell you what's going through my head as I'm watching him obviously talk about it, right? All right, let's get pulled up here.
Situation with Brenton and his status.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking that question. Brenton, we've kind of decided to move on here. I think, I think that being a football player at the University of Florida is a privilege, right? And there's certain expectations and standards that come with that. Brenton's been here in his third year. Obviously, he's done a lot of good things for the University of Florida, and we wish him nothing but the best. But, sometimes, you have to make decisions in the best interest of the team, and certainly Brenton, we're going to do everything we can do to help him with his transition. But as simple as that, I think that, we've decided to move on.
Did he throw a punch?
the end of that game against Georgia?
You,
Did Brenton throw a punch at the end of that game against Georgia?
not that I'm aware of.
Boys and girls, I think that was the first time Billy Napier lied to us. That was your typical, he lied without lying, not that I'm aware of. Well done, Billy. I just want you guys to know I think that was the first time that we've been lied to by a boy, and good reason too. But that was definitely something him, kind of holding back. He knows what happens, and I think he'll say that here in just a minute. But I just want to let you guys know I think we just got our heart broken a little bit there, boys. We've been lied to.
So what was the issue here with him? I mean, you're talking about just moving on. Like, what did he do or didn't do?
Hold on real quick. The way Billy be drinking water during press conferences, bro, it just kind of it gets under my skin. I always hear him kind of drinking, and the other part of it too, he's always drinking Aquafina. Look, I'm nitpicking here, but I can't.
That prompted this decision.
I don't know that we would get specific relative to the, to what caused the decision. I think it's more of a cumulative effect here. We'd keep that in-house.
Billy, so year one, Eloise.
They gave up. They gave up from there. They ask a little bit later on, but accumulative, right? Meaning, I think it was more just of one-off situation. I think a multitude of things happened. I'm hearing that he got into it with the coaches. I see you guys in the chat thinking. I hear that he got into a fight with somebody right in the locker room. I saw him throw that punch at the end there. I go, golly, that was brutal. I saw it happen. Here's what I think happened. I think a slew of things happened to where it kind of just started leading up, where Brenton probably was walking in the locker room with a sense of ego, that he felt he probably didn't need to follow the rules. And if it's Brenton's second year, he's a sophomore and he's this good. If it's a Gervon Dexter that acts like this, or a Montrell, right, who that's going to come back, do you chop the cord this quickly? Do you act this fast? I don't know. We won't know. Right? I think these are one of those situations where you may be losing a little bit of the locker room. At this point in the season, it's starting to get a little rough. People are frustrated, as you expect. And it can go one or two ways. It can get out of hand pretty quickly, where you lose the trust in the locker room, or you got to tone it down and make sure, like, hey, we're not playing games. We're still bought in. So what he did is what we like to call is you shoot a hostage. You take somebody out, and it might hurt for that short term when you get rid of somebody like a Brenton Cox, but long-term, it's going to have a lasting effect, because you're speaking volumes to the team, you're speaking volumes to us as the fans on kind of how serious he is and what he's expecting from his players, and to the players of what he expected, and to the staff of, hey, I don't tolerate any of that. So I think it's a good thing. I think again, I trust Billy. The decision was made. I mean, it had to have been bad enough for him to make the decision. Again, do I feel he may have jumped the gun maybe a little bit faster than, because of the situation of, Brenton being his last year anyways? We're kind of on the way out. We're not going to have a winning season. Here's an opportunity to take advantage, shoot a hostage, set a tone. Let's go ahead and do it. Because I've been speaking in those last three videos. We can't get Nick Saban to hold Jermaine Burton responsible for punching fans, regardless of what was said or not said. So obviously, Jermaine Burton has a little more value to Saban, so he's going to handle that situation differently than Billy would handle this situation. Now, again, I don't know how bad it is. It could be just atrocious, and again, he's keeping it hush-hush, which I respect, because you're still protecting Brenton Cox. The guy still has a future, should still have the ability to go to the NFL, no matter, again, if he killed somebody, maybe not so much, but I obviously don't think it's that. I did read somewhere, too, I was looking up, that he was apparently dismissed. He was dismissed from Georgia for a marijuana possession. He says they just went their separate ways. Seems like he's kind of has a slew of some bad rep with people. But look, I think it's a little kind of shocking after what's happened, and I think we're all a little taken back by it. But I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think we haven't seen something like this in a long time, where a coach comes in and kind of takes a little bit of action on a big player like that. Because I can only imagine those guys probably act out more than we realize and more than we know, and it just kind of gets pushed to the side. It's a locker room, and again, we're not here to do that. But a few things for Billy is quit drinking Aquafina, and I'm upset that you lied to us. But other than that, we can move on. Let me see what you guys are thinking in the chats. We got a super chat here from my man Daniel. I'm sure it's smack talking, but I'll give it to him. Let's see here. He says, well. What's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, I know why he drinks Aquafina. because of the contract. That doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. Yeah, we're going to talk about Brian Harsin as well being fired. But the next question of conversation is who gets the elusive number one on defense? Does it get repurposed this year, or does it get tossed to the side? And if it does get tossed to the side, who do we think gets it next year? Kamari Wilson, maybe? I don't know. He's kind of rocking number 5, looks clean back there. We think Big Dez gets it. Maybe the Gervon switches from 9 to 1. Who gets number 1? Who do we think is going to be, honorable to get that single digit on the defensive side? Let me know what you guys think in the comment. I think it's a fun topic of discussion. I think it gets thrown. I think it's obviously going to get retired. Nobody's going to switch his number mid-season, obviously, especially with the NIL. Why would you? But it's going to be interesting to see who picks it up, who gets it. And, I think it's an audible number on the defensive side just as much as it is on the offensive side. So it's going to be fun to see who goes after it next year. It'd be kind of sick to see Desmond wear 1 for how big he is. But I would like to see, maybe like a linebacker, Kamari Wilson, even Rashad Torrance take on that number 1. Again, who gets it, I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see what you guys say. Jaden will get it. Okay. Big Dez. Ricks, you think so? Ricks that early? Etienne, well, that's Etienne's on the offensive side. So obviously Ricky's got it already, Pearsall. Desmond Ricks, a recruit? Maybe. I don't hate that. I think Kamari should get it over Desmond, in my opinion. But we'll see. Billy's cleaning house. Big Dust to Dust says. Yeah, it got to be pretty horrendous for him to pull the plug. I think it is pretty outrageous. I think Brenton probably stepped over the line. Again, he said accumulative. So I think there was a couple of situations where they probably let it slide. And Brenton just obviously kept pushing the envelope, and they pulled the plug on him. So that's where we're at. North Florida White Trash says, I never want to see anyone hit in the face by... It's Monday. It's Monday at 1 o'clock, North Florida. I don't deserve this. Who gets 1 this year? Give number 1 to Cormani McClain. What's up, Brandon? Come on, boys. That's ruthless. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it seemed to be where everyone was kind of on board and support of Billy on this one, so I appreciated that. He did come out in his press conference and speak pretty quickly about, he goes, Kirby's in his 7th year, he's done a great job of recruiting, putting together a nice game plan. I think that was a subtle blow to the media, saying he's in his 7th year, he's done a good job of putting together a phenomenal recruiting class and a great team to be as dominant as they were on Saturday. That was old Billy Ballsack letting everybody know to shut the F up, and it's going to take some damn time. Billy's starting to get a little spicy in his press conferences, having a little more swagger and just a little more, brunt to his way he's going about it. So it's fun to watch. Must have smoked a doob in the locker room. That's possible too. Let me see here. Oh, geez, I'm reading that, Rob D. There was probably a public incident, and then what happened when he got pulled aside and how he handled being disciplined is probably what led to dismiss. Possibly, too. I think there's so many different things, ins and outs of what could have happened. I think for Brenton Cox's future and career, it's best that it all stays a hush, to be honest with you. Now, he's going to have the ability to speak on it. If he wants to come out and talk about it, he may. If he doesn't come out and speak on it, or at least address the situation privately, from his Twitter or Instagram or whatever it may be, I feel that it's probably worse than we are even probably can comprehend, or it's pretty bad to where he doesn't want it to come out because he knows that it'll hurt his draft stock. If he speaks to it and says, yeah, I don't know what happened, it was just, I said something, no, they didn't like what I had to say, they let me go, then maybe it's not as bad and it could have just been a shooting a hostage situation. I think how Brenton handles this is going to be how it gets handled. Fish Reef says, it's early, we at work. You guys can catch up later on. I know everyone's at work. I wanted to get out there. I got a few things I got planned up for the day, so I wanted to get this out there rocking and rolling. But anyways, Brenton Cox is obviously moving on, and that means that it's time for us to move on and focus on the future for some recruiting news. And we were talking about it the other day. John Walker has set an official visit, as well as Desmond Ricks, which is great news for us, obviously. John Walker has been one that we talked about when he did commit, that they were going to be on top of him. Caden McDonald commits today on Halloween. That one seems like a Clemson shoe-in, but we keep writing about him. And I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, but I would love to have a bounce back and to be able to put the suit on and come out here and have some shots with the boys, and for good reason and not for bad reason. So I don't know. We keep talking about him, even though he's crystal ball to Clemson. Maybe we know something. Honestly, boys, we know how recruit did me. I have a hard time even saying anything right now. But his Desmond's visit will be December 2nd. His mother told Gators online, so he'll be there for the 2nd. And then again, John Walker will be there on the 9th. So all good things. And that 9th is pretty right around signing day, if I believe. I know early signing day is right around that time. I think it's like the 22nd, I believe, or 15th or 16th or something like that. I know I'm working on with Papa Stokes. I'm going to see Marcus Stokes when he signs. So that's really good to have somebody come that close to signing day to have an official visit. We won't have any games, but it'll be good to have him come there during right before that signing date, which is, again, somebody who committed to UCF. To him set out an official visit shows that we've done a good job. Maybe he's just being respectful of like, look, we have been on top of him the entire time. So he's like, I'm going to come hang out with you guys simply because you guys haven't left me alone, which I like it. So he was at the LSU game as well. And what I want to do now is, look, we lost our Kermani McLean, and that's obviously rough for the taking for us. And I want to see what do we need now to get back to that top 5 class, because Kermani's not going to be in that class. Could be a late flip. I don't know just yet, but as of now, he's not there. Let's say we flip John Walker, okay, which would be huge for the boys. Oh, I'm in the wrong year. We get a John Walker. We get a Desmond Ricks, right? Again, Desmond Ricks isn't a lock either. I'm just trying to salvage the season here, boys. Puts us at 283, which would put us above Miami, but still behind LSU, which would put us, as Uncle Lou mentioned on our cast, 1, 2, 3, 4th in the SEC for recruiting. And that's a big factor because, cool, nationwide we're the top 5, but when we're still in 4th behind 2 of the 3 teams, or we play all 3 of them typically. We play LSU and Georgia every year, and then sometimes Bama. Behind all 3 of those teams, those are the guys we got to beat. That's going to be tough. But let's add Russo, because I think Russo, he's gone down in his rankings dramatically. We've seen in the past that usually plays good for us. That puts us at 289. Desmond Ricks is ranked higher than Russo now. Wow. So Desmond will be a big pull. 289 puts us into 4th, right above Ohio State, but still above LSU, but still behind Georgia. So we still need another one in there. James Smith is still a possibility. I don't feel as good about that one, but we'll throw him in there. That puts us at 296, which would now put us into that number 2 class. So it's not over. I think those names that I just mentioned, Desmond Ricks, Russo, James Smith, and John Walker, who now looks good. And we saw McDonald today, but I'm not even going to put him on there. Again, this is all hypothetical. Those put us into a top 2, top 3 class right around the Georgia area, which those guys aren't that crazy. Now, again, we were adding a Kermani McLean and all these big guys that was going to be huge for us, but obviously that didn't happen. And again, I think Kermani McLean, there's could be some weird stuff going on that might still, trickle our way. I don't know. But Russo seems to be good, and Russo seems like a really good football player, which I'm excited about. McDonald is going to Clemson. Hardwire say that. That's what I feels like is going. So need Samson Okunla. I've been hearing about him as well too. Let me see here. Samson, offensive tackle, be good to get another OT. Right now he's crystal ball to Miami. But that would be huge. He's 5-star composite, number 3 offensive tackle. If he goes to Miami, boys, my goodness. You know what I'm saying? We pull him. Where do you go? Oh, I didn't add him. Hold on. Let's say we add him as well. I mean, we're kind of getting a little. That's the wrong Samson. We're getting a little. Obviously, I think. We're already stretched anyways on what I think would happen, but we add him, that puts us at 302, and now we're right in that top-tier class with everybody else, and we can finish with that. Look, the season still is salvaged. The recruiting class is still salvaged, and I think, Billy's stress will be down a little bit. But that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that has to be done in the next few months here, so we'll see how that goes out. But good news in John Walker and Desmond Ricks setting their official visits very close to the signing day, which I like to see. Again, we have McDonald. Should we go live for Cade McDonald tonight, boys? Should we live stream his decision? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Should we set it up again? Should we get the juices flowing? Maybe we do little shots again and we have some fun. I mean, it wasn't. it was brutal before, but I'll do it for the boys if we want to have a good time. Let me see what time his his commitment is. Let's see here. 6 p.m. on YouTube channel. I might have to go live, boys. Just for a good time's sakes. Why not? Let's go live. It won't be worse than Kermani. I mean, look, we could have the complete opposite, right? We could have the opposite happen where he commits to us and we rocking and rolling. So that could happen as well too. You guys saying Keon Keeley to Bama? Did that just happen? Or are you guys just like speaking that? Adrian says hard no. Couple yeses, couple no's. Let's do it. Look, I mean, we'll see. I'll play it by ear. We got some time. Brandon Curry says let's do it. I love it. I love the energy, boys. All right, one last thing here before I go. I just want to bro, your live stream will forever be a classic, even though when you get Monty. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what happens if he does hit, and then we get another great reaction? You know what I'm saying? So I think we could. I'm always down for getting a little boozy for some good news. So, all right, let's go to the Brian Harsin getting fired. I have some thoughts on this. I'm kind of a little shocked that he is getting fired. I know we're not shocked. Everyone knew he was getting fired, but I think we're going to see something happen with Deion. I really do. I think there's a timing play here. I have another video that I'm working on that I'm going to be posting probably today or tomorrow. With this happening, I might have to go it sooner rather than later. But I think the timing is more in tune than we think. What I mean by that is my whole thought with Deion. I think Deion is making a run. And he's putting on a big case right now. Undefeated, brings College Game Day to HBCU. I don't think there's a coincidence that he gets fired the 2 days after Deion has, his big showing, his big promotion, his big campaign of the Deion train, the Deion just, Sanders' life of being who he is at Jackson State right now. Has College Game Day, rolls whoever they played 35-0. I think Deion finishes the year. He has to. I think he gets a championship under his belt, goes undefeated. But I think I think Auburn's made their decision, and I want to think that Deion has also made his decision. Again, this is all hypothetical. I'm just kind of trying to put the pieces together from what I can see, from what we've heard, and things make sense. I'm going to make another separate video about this, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn the bell, and like, and see what happens, because I've got some thought process on how this is going to work out. There's a lot of things that I think have to go the right way, and I think Deion has the ability to pull things his own way. And so we'll see. We'd love him to go to Auburn, and I don't want him to go to FSU. I don't know, boys. I don't know. That'd be tough. That would be tough. All right, let's see what the chat's saying, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, boys and girls, and see about going live later today. I'll put a poll out. We'll put a poll out saying, should we go live for the Kate McDonald stream and just have a good time and hang out with all the boys and girls? Because I think some people are upset that I went live early, but proud to Auburn, I think so. Flip Walker and get Rick, so we won't even remember Kermani. I agree with that. I love that. I love that mindset for sure. Dom says go live. F it. I love it. Although if he does pick us, we want Bama. That's what I'm saying, Adrian. You imagine Kate McDonald comes sliding through, boys? Bro, suit comes on. We get rowdy in the chat. I mean, I feel like with Kate McDonald, only way we can go is up. We live stream the Kate McDonald. We can't go. There's nowhere we can go but up, right? Kermani, I felt like we were just going to get like a solidified going up, but we went all the way down to the ground, okay? So at least with Caden, only W's, all right? Hey, we got over 200 in the chat. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, baby. Show some love for the boys. All right. Y'all boys keep an eye on that Auburn wide receiver from Florida. He's entering the portal. Let me see here. Question is how attached Deion is to FSU. I don't think he goes to FSU. I'm always down for getting bad news, even if it's getting busy, even if it's bad news. I love it. Troy says Cox was a star player on our defense, period. He was putting up great film consistently every single week. As much as you blow this off as not much a loss, you're wrong. This one hurts. Troy, look, man, I don't disagree, but I disagree with you. Look, blowing up the film. I was talking prior to this. If you watch the stream for the last just this football season, I've always had my doubts on Brenton Cox. I've been very vocal about it. Not as a hater, but just simply as the eye test. Was never really bought in on it. And is it a big deal? Sure. It's not going to be fun not to have him on the linebacker and on the D-line and, you know, putting pressure on the opposing quarterback, because he does definitely do that. I totally agree with you. It's definitely going to hurt. But at the same time, it's like, look, the season is what it is. Let's rock and roll. Let's move on. It's done and over with. Nothing we can do about it now. So sitting here getting pissing about it and saying what hurts, like, bro, we felt so much pain this year. I'm numb to it. So this to me, no, is not that big of what we felt. Out of the things that we have went through this season, losing Kermani, right? Losing that big recruit, losing to Kentucky the way that we did. Those, in my opinion, have hurt way worse than this right here. That's my opinion. But I appreciate your take. Gator don't take no shit. Gator ain't never been taking no shit. Johnny says no live. Oh, do the live. We'll see. All right, boys and girls. Oh, where's you guys still arguing about it? All right. What is going on at Florida from Health for Billy Paul? I think, look, changes are happening. Changes are what we need to work going to happen. But boys and girls, ladies and gents, thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate you. I will be letting you know if I go live. I'll put a poll out. We'll see what the fan says. You guys, it's the fan-driven show. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Monday afternoonish, around 2 o'clock. Something out of the ordinary. But you guys rock and roll. Stay safe. Stay tuned. Turn the bell on, because there's going to be a lot of content coming out. There's a lot of news rocking and rolling. We've got a lot to cover over the next few days, I think, with Harsin going away, Cox, possibly some great recruiting news for Florida. Who knows? Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, turn the bell on. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel